Got a DM recently. Someone wrote in, I have 500k sitting in my business account. Where do I put it? And before I answer that, I want to be clear about something. This is one of those questions where the answer completely depends on your single situation, your structure, your residency, your objectives, what you already have in place. So what I'm going to give you here is an initial framework, a direction, and not a one-size prescription. But I've seen this situation dozens and dozens of times, and there are a few things that almost always apply. I'm Matteo Maglia, Partnership Manager at GloboBanks, the banking introduction company for international accounts. The first one is this. If you have 500k sitting in a single business account, you probably already sense that something isn't right. You don't need me to tell you that, you feel it. That low-level discomfort whenever a payment gets flagged, for example. Whenever you try to move a large amount and the bank asks you to justify it. Whenever you think, what happens if this account gets frozen tomorrow? That's your instinct working correctly. Let me tell you what I see most often with clients at this level. They've built something real. They have a company, UAE Free Zone, Wyoming LLC, UK LTD, whatever the structure is. They're using Wise or Mercury or Rolex to receive payments. Maybe a local bank in Dubai or Singapore for day-to-day. And on paper, it looks fine. But here's the problem. Wise is not a bank. Mercury is not a bank. Rolex is a payment platform. They don't operate under the same regulatory framework as a real bank institution. And when something goes wrong, a flagged transaction, a compliance review, a dispute with a client who wired the money with the wrong reference, you don't have a relationship manager who picks up the phone. You have a ticket number. I've had clients come to me after their Wise account was frozen for 3 weeks. 3 weeks where they couldn't pay their team, couldn't pay suppliers, couldn't move anything. $500,000 sitting right there, completely inaccessible. And there was nothing they could do because there was no one to call. There's another version of this problem that costs people money rather than access. I won't name the client, but we worked with an agency, a serious operation running close to $90 million a year through a single bank account. Not a private bank, but a fintech. And the platform was charging 0.3% on every incoming transaction. Does that mean $270,000 a year in fees just on the account? And every single outgoing payment had to be justified. Looks like a hosted situation. So, when someone asks me, where do I put 500k? The first thing is I want to understand is that what's holding it right now and what would happen if that relationship ended tomorrow, because 500k is real capital and it needs real infrastructure. So let me give you a framework that makes sense at this level. The first layer is your operational structure. You probably already have this, an account where you receive client payments, pay your team, run the business. What you want here is not one account. You want two plan A accounts in different jurisdictions with real banking institutions, not fintech, not e-money licenses, banks. Why two? Because if one account gets flagged, even temporarily, even for something that has nothing to do with you, you keep operating. Your business doesn't stop, you split incoming clients' payment across both, 50-50. Neither account sees the full volume. Both are active, both are real, both are used simultaneously. The second layer is where 500k starts to change the conversation. At that level, you should have a private banking relationship, somewhere like Switzerland or Singapore. This is where you park capital that you're not spending tomorrow, capital you want to protect, to potentially grow, and to hold in a jurisdiction you actually trust. Switzerland is still the strongest option for most of our clients. The banks there we work directly offer what's genuinely a different category of banking. It's not a checking account or a saving account. It's a private banking relationship. Here you have a banker who knows your name, who speaks your language, who you can call. And your capital sits on one of the most solid banking jurisdictions in the world, with the option to hold it in multiple currencies like euros, dollars, Swiss francs, and earn a return on it, around 2% yearly on deposited liquidity in standard. Standard entry through some of Switzerland's best private banks through GloboBanks is 100,000 to 200,000 euros. Without an introducer, you'd be looking at like 500k to $1 million months of waiting and a trip to Zurich. We've had clients open accounts from Dubai, from Singapore, from Latin America remotely in a matter of weeks. Singapore is the other jurisdiction I'd point you toward, especially if you're already based in Asia or the Gulf. We work with one of the most international-oriented private banks in the city. And again, opening from abroad with a real banking relationship and a minimum deposit that's been negotiated through us rather than through a walk-in. That changes everything about the experience. Now, one thing I want to be absolutely clear about. Everything I just described is fully declared, fully compliant. CRS, FACTA, their accounts are reported. The Swiss banking system, Singapore, all of them operate under international reporting standards. We're talking about moving capital into institutional grade banking relationships where it's actually yours to access and control, rather than sitting in a fintech account with a term of service clause that frees you at their discretion. So, if you're sitting with $500,000 in business accounts right now, here's what I'd want to understand about your situation before giving a specific answer. What's your current banking setup? What jurisdiction is your company in? Where are you resident? And what is your actual goal? Is this capital you want to deploy, protect, or both? Because the answer generally varies, and getting it wrong costs money, access, and some time, both. The link in the description. It's a free consultation with my team. We look at your structure, we tell you what makes sense, we tell you what doesn't. And if we can help you, you'll know exactly how and at what cost. If we can't help you, we'll tell you the truth. I'll see you in the next one.